What's good, guys? It's your boy Amaro D, aka The Amar Show, and we're back with another
OD,
episode of
baby.
ODTV. So, look, it's good to be back in town. You know what I mean? So, let's pick up from where we left off. I have a video here, pretty interesting. Why do all big celebrities end up like this? And it's talking about the image, the sunken cheeks, the very frail frame, those type of things. So, let's hop straight into it. I'm not going to ramble for too long, and let's get to the bottom of this. Stay tuned.
There appears to be something really strange happening in Hollywood. From Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo to Ice Spice, for some reason, many top celebrities are undergoing bizarre transformations that leave them almost unrecognizable. They go from their normal selves to almost a hollowed out corpse look. Many
Yeah, man. Yeah, especially with Ariana Grande. I'm not gonna lie. That's the one I seen it with. She was always like a petite girl, but lately it's been crazy. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she's going through any health problems or nothing like that. So please comment below if she is or anything. I haven't heard anything big like that, but I've been noticing well, not just her, like the videos telling us. It's more so a lot of, I guess, stars across the board are losing weight and it's not looking normal. I know this Ozempic stuff. I know some of the symptoms of that is like sunken cheeks, maybe discoloration, those type of things. But to this degree, everybody on it? Like everybody's doing it because a lot of these celebrities didn't even start out big at all. You know what I mean? They were already slim. So is there some type of issue there in terms of the way you mentally see yourself, or I guess visually see yourself, but in your mental, how you perceive yourself? Is there an issue there where they feel like they have to go to these extremes or look this extreme? I don't know. We're about to find out though.
online have described it as them looking like their soul had been sucked out of their body.
Crazy.
Now,
No, for
Jenna
real.
Ortega seems to be the latest star who has left people speechless. Everyone wants to know why so many of these stars are ending up like this shortly after entering the industry. Today, we are going to look into this strange occurrence.
Mind you, this is weird. I remember when this was going on. This was really weird. The dynamic between these two. I remember that. But that's for another conversation.
To see if we can find anything that could help explain why this keeps happening. There always seems to be something unexplainable happening in Hollywood. To many, what these stars are doing doesn't seem to make any sense. Why
Sure.
does it seem like after years in the industry, or right after they get a major role, some of them just disappear and resurface looking like something
crazy.
terrifying might have happened to them? Many have noticed it is always most in their
Come on, man.
eyes. Something about their eyes changes and they start looking almost disconnected from everything. You
Oh, I
can't
see
tell
what
me
you mean.
you haven't noticed it for yourself. So many of them have this
It's like they're staring into the nothingness. You know what I mean? They're staring at you, but they're not staring at you. It's weird. You can tell it. It's almost like a soulless look, if you get what I mean. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy guy or anything like that, but it is very creepy. They don't call it Holly weird for no reason. You know what I mean? There's things that happen in the background, and in my opinion, things of recent, like the Epstein files, the Diddy stuff, it shows that these conspiracies, there is some truth to them. There typically is some truth to them unless they're super outlandish. But even then, it's like obviously don't believe everything you hear. But from what I've seen, from what like before this last like 5 to 10 years, everything up to that point, it's just conspiracy. You're not really saying anything, whatever. But look within the last 5 to 10 years and tell me you're not kind of creeped out to find that some of these things are true. You know what I mean? A lot of them are true. The Diddy situation, would you have ever guessed that? Would you have ever guessed a man just gallivanting in baby oils and doing all the nastiness he was doing behind the scenes? I didn't know to that degree, Obviously, you hear of these freaked out parties and all that stuff, but to that degree where he's going, I haven't seen this until recent times. You know what I mean? Also, the Epstein files, stuff like that, that's going on, and people don't want to speak on it, and people are avoiding it instead of outright coming out and saying no. Like this stuff is weird, So who knows what this world, what this life holds? That's what I've been realizing. Like you can't really put anything past anyone. And yeah, let's continue.
same look. This is why people are having a hard time understanding why this keeps happening. Is this just some sort of Hollywood fashion trend? Or could there be another explanation? Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo were the first to spark this conversation on the internet. Right around the time they were announced as the leads for the new Wicked movie,
I told you these two are behaving so weird around this time.
people started noticing what they felt was odd behavior from the two. Not only were they acting unlike themselves, but they also both appeared almost unrecognizable.
For
People
real.
didn't understand
Oh, this is how she looked before? Wow. Yeah, that is day and night, man. That is crazy. And look at the pictures on the left. You know, the pictures on the left, they look a lot more healthy, more like, for lack of a better word, filled out. I'm not talking visual. I'm not trying to be a pervert or anything like that. But like their cheeks are full. They look like they have like a healthy weight to them, a healthy fat percentage to them. You know what I mean? And then when you go to the right, both of them, well, my girl on the extreme right is pretty muscular. I'm not gonna lie, but there's something off, you know, in these right images of these celebrities.
And how the two went from this before the movie to this after. The combination of the new look and different personalities right after getting the role left many wondering if it was connected to the film. They started to point to the stories of the alleged pressure the Wizard of Oz lead actress was put through to look a certain way and all the other bizarre things that happened while they filmed that movie.
Really?
The Wicked movie does seem to mark the beginning of Ariana and Cynthia Erivo's drastic change. Whether the look was to better fit the role of the character.
Okay, look, I know I don't mean to talk too much, but hey, it's a reaction video. You came here for my opinion. You know what it is, guys. So, but has there been, it seems like there was a pivotal where there was a moment in time where just the mirror just flipped and just a whole bunch of weird stuff just started happening. Was it after COVID? Because I feel like COVID was like, we're now over the edge and now everything's getting flipped on its head. It's just what a crazy time to be alive right now. I always say that because I don't think generations prior to us had this access to the behind the scenes look of everything like how we have today. And things are coming out, and it's just so interesting. It's shocking, but it's also very interesting to see what was the truth from what was actually false. You know what I mean? And a lot of things that have been proven to be true have like absolutely blown my mind. So let me know if you guys relate. Comment below.
Or due to other reasons, no one truly knows. But it is interesting that after playing in Wicked, they started looking like that. It almost makes it seem like they embodied those characters so much, they started looking like them in real life.
Yeah, man.
When they returned for the second Wicked movie, the transformation was even more drastic, and their behavior had gotten more ridiculous. Moments like this started going viral, showing Cynthia acting quite strange around Ariana. Some people online started
Yeah, so this is when she became like super overprotective and just weird. I didn't even know there was a sequel to this movie, to be honest. I just thought it was all during the same campaign run. Shows you how disconnected I was from this movie. But I just remember seeing this media just keep circulating in here. And I was just thinking, yo, this is making me uncomfortable to watch. She's acting weird, bro.
saying that she was behaving like Ariana's bodyguard or even her boyfriend.
Like, what's going on? For
At
real,
one
though.
point, she straight up tackled a crazed fan to stop them from grabbing Ariana up.
This shit is cheesy to me. I'm sorry, bro. This shit is corny. I'm sorry. Like it's almost like mate guarding in a way. She's mate guarding Ariana Grande. She's doing too much though.
Outside of an event. The way they were acting, people were convinced that something had happened to them while they were filming the movie. Eventually, people figured that they were just being weird and they moved on. But then a long list of other celebrities started popping up looking the same way, and people started to
For real.
believe that there might be more to all of this. Right now, everyone is talking about Jenna Ortega, who has been in the business since she was a little child. The world literally watched her grow up and become a woman on screen, and they also witnessed her transformation in real time.
Yeah, this is weird, man. It's almost like once you reach a new level of success, like this is the new skin, if you get what I mean. Crazy.
Recently, she appeared in an interview that has since gone viral, where many feel she appears unrecognizable. People are drawing comparisons back to Ariana and Cynthia Erivo's look during Wicked.
Yup.
The first thing I noticed was the eyes again. Don't they have the same look as the others? You know what they say, the eyes are the window to the soul. Well, those eyes look empty. Just take a look how she looked a few years back and
Okay.
compare it to now. You can easily see why people feel something is
Oh, I see what they mean. Whoa. I think you guys can see my mouse, but whoa, that actually is like on borderline and giving me goosebumps right now. Look at her eyes in the left picture. Look a lot more lively, more energetic. Over here, I see what he's saying about that soulless look. And maybe again, they're actors, so they're performers. She's probably in character for a photo here or something like that. So they know how to kind of change up their vibe, their energy. But like, this is definitely a noticeable difference. Like, these definitely look like a little bit more cold, soulless, if you get what I mean. This is crazy. Very interesting to see, man. Very interesting to see. Well, also, we have like all types of surgeries that we don't know are going on and stuff like that too, allegedly. So I don't want to make any super assumptions here, but you don't know what these people go through on the behind the scenes in terms of altering their look, because people will disappear for a certain amount of time and they won't say anything. They'll literally just silently just tuck off, and like right before people start asking, "Yo, have you heard of this person recently? Like, where did they go?" That type of stuff. They pop back out onto the scene, but they have like a totally, well, sometimes slightly different, or sometimes a completely different look to them, and you don't know how many surgeries or restylings, remodels they've redone their mental, all that stuff in the background. So we don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
off. Again, we see her looking like the woman from the movie Corpse Bride. Something
Mhm.
just doesn't seem right about this. Interestingly enough, some people believe her transformation started when she got her career changing role in the Wednesday Addams
Oh,
show,
I remember this.
another project that
Yeah, this was like almost like a perfect casting, in my opinion. Yeah, she killed this one.
similar magical premise to what we saw in Wicked. Basically, Wednesday is a witch-like character just like Ariana and Cynthia played in Wicked. Now, I'm not saying that had anything to do with this, but it is an interesting observation that we will come back to later. Think about it. Both roles required the actors to
Mhm.
match the appearance and behavior of a witch. Now, the question is, why does it seem like they never stop embodying those characters?
Whoa, do you think it's something crazy, something like possession or something? Once they get into these roles, they have to connect with a certain vibration or something, and it's just taking them over. I'm sorry, I love conspiracy theories. Don't get me wrong, because they're so like creative. But remember the Joker, stuff like the Joker, where they get into character and they can't shake the character and they lose themselves. Like they become the character they were playing. So maybe you never know these witch roles, that type of stuff. I'm not too big on spirit. Why can't I say it? Spirituality. Sorry, whatever. I'm not too spiritual. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not too spiritual, but yeah, more and more recently of late, my head's really been turning towards it because it's like, yo, what's going on? This stuff is deeper than just the physical, Like this is like beyond the physical, and it seems a bit weird the way these things happen. And they don't change, but they change, if you got what I mean. You could almost feel the change. You can't really see the change too much, but you could feel the change. Like he said with the eyes, like you could feel the change in the eyes. So something's and the eyes are the window to the soul. So something spiritually is happening over there. You know what I mean?
It's not just actors playing characters who are acting like this. We also can find artists
Oh, I remember the Ice Spice thing too.
popping up the same way. Some time back, people were saying the same thing about Ice Spice, who had gone through her own drastic transformation. Just like the others, from one day to the next, she started looking like this. And again, it seems she had this
Well, for the other two, I'm not too like following them like that. I'm not really following Ice Spice as well, but I just know with the artist lifestyle, very rigorous. You're traveling, your diet's probably all over the place. So I do get it. She was giving off a bit of that uncanny kind of look too. Yeah.
same empty look in her eyes as well. Now, her transformation seems to have happened after her involvement with Taylor Swift. As you guys might remember, they collaborated on a song together and even appeared in a video loaded with specific imagery. In the music video,
Yo, I don't know. The music industry knows what's gonna happen when they start this type of stuff, especially at that level. So when they do it, it's almost like, okay, we get the marketing in a certain type of way, but how much of it? Remember back in the day where they're like, oh my gosh, Illuminati this, Illuminati that. And now it's like we see the facade, a lot of the facade the music industry tries to get across to people. You know what I mean? So, but how much of that is contrived for marketing and how much of that is actually true. You know what I mean? In terms of the dark energy the music industry gives across.
Taylor Swift can be seen wearing horns and is depicted in a hell like setting. They also had tons of other imagery displayed in this video,
Mhm.
like in this scene where the girls are depicted capturing the planets. This music video also came out around the same time she was going viral for what she displayed at the Super Bowl while she was chilling with Taylor Swift. This was a big moment for Ice Spice, and some would even call it
What happened there? Oh, was that like a sign she threw up?
the peak of her career. But not long after this, she popped up with the very same appearance as the others we have
Ooh, okay. Yeah, looking back on it, scratch everything I said before. Yeah, this don't look right.
discussed today. You can start to see why people feel like something is definitely up. When you really start looking into this, you begin to notice this is happening to many other celebrities. Many point to Demi Moore's transformation after her appearance in the movie The Substance. Ironically, the film was about a woman who was hyper focused on her age.
Yeah, I found this movie super creative how they got this message across. Yeah, I found this movie super creative. I don't know if you guys see, what was it
So
called?
she participates in a black market experimental procedure that would allow her to cheat the aging process altogether. It was one of her most praised performances in years, but it now appears that she's never looked the same since. Reportedly,
Crazy.
her transformation was a direct result of the stress she was put under during the filming process. Olivia Wilde
Crazy.
also sparked similar conversations about her transformation when she surfaced
This is extreme. This is very extreme.
earlier this year. She appeared in an interview for her upcoming movie, and fans instantly noticed something had changed with her. Again, she seems to be going for the same look as all the other stars we have spoken about. Isn't it strange that they all look like
Yeah, man, there has to be something more to this.
this? Is this something that they're purposely going for? I understand why people feel like it just doesn't seem right. Euphoria actress Alexa Demi is another one who recently popped up unrecognizable.
But you see, it's like always the same markers. It's the sunken eyes, it's the depressed cheeks, it's the crazy thin jawline. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy or stronger jawline. I don't know. Pronounced, let's say very pronounced jawline after the pencil neck. You know what it's a very distinct look all these celebrities are going for. So it has to be, yeah, it has to be something unnatural that all of them are doing because for them to achieve the same look, almost spot on with each of the kind of side effects, is very weird.
Again, the very same look we keep seeing over and over again. It's like this is taking over Hollywood and no one in the industry is acknowledging it. Everyone has an excuse as to why they're popping up looking as if they saw a ghost who stole their life force. This has led many
That was a good analogy. Ghosts who stole their life force. Yeah.
people online to speculate on what's really behind this. Some people think it's just Ozempic, while others believe this is possibly connected to something much deeper. Many performers, whether actors or artists, have talked about opening themselves up to become better performers. Acting legends and modern performers alike frequently describe stepping aside to let the character take over them.
Yo, honestly, after the Epstein file stuff, hey, this could be fair game. Like, I can't say no to it. You know what I mean? I can't say yes, but I definitely can't say no to it, no to this. Things are getting so weird these days.
They describe it almost like the character is a spirit that steers them during their filming process. Some of these actors go as far as to refer to themselves as vessels. Denzel Washington described this process years ago in an old interview.
Got on my knees and sort of communicated with the spirits. And when I came out, I was in charge.
Powerful scene.
Powerful scene. I couldn't have acted that. I couldn't have acted that. I couldn't have written that down and made a decision.
The way he describes it, he makes it sound like he's not in control of anything we see him do on screen. Michael B. Jordan has said similar things in his interviews, claiming that the character takes over him while he's acting.
Yo, growing up when you're hearing about these actors, you don't take in how much it goes into this, but mentally imagine that. So yo, I kind of believe them because you have to for them to give across some of the performances they give across, you have to more than just embody that character. You have to be that character, you know? So I see what he's saying. Very creepy stuff, man.
I would pray to him. You know, I would channel his energy. I would just ask to be around.
You know, I would pray to him. You know, I would channel his energy.
When did you feel it the most?
Honestly, it was
Crazy.
when was on the platform. And we'd only use it while the train wasn't running.
Yeah.
And tons of extras, limited takes, one camera. But that's where his presence was around me the most, I think, at the platform for sure. It was, yeah, it's that weird, eerie feeling, but it was a good feeling. You know, I don't think I could have done it without him.
It was a good, you know, I don't think I could have done it without him.
Amazing with the edits, my guy. This is dope, man. I'm not gonna lie. Big up, what's his name? The Truth Is. Big up The Truth Is. This is a very good video, man. Wicked. So yeah, creepy stuff here. You're channeling. It's almost like these actors are like antennas for energies, and when they channel a certain type of energy, they become that, you know? And like he was saying, he prayed to him, it feels good, all that stuff. Yo, super weird stuff, you know, super weird stuff.
Being there.
Him, Oscar.
Yeah.
The energy of
That's
it.
his presence for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't have a process. I'm not like one of these, you know, some people have methods or this or that. I just did whatever I felt I needed to do or whatever I felt was right in the moment, every step of the way. So it was no real plan. I didn't have an escape plan either. So like every day was just going into this place and I just tried to stay there as long as I could. And then when it was all over, I think just being in that kind of that mind state, that real unapologetic, you know, just real like, you know, whatever all the time kind of kept it caught up with me and like I got a little depressed. It was tough for me for a minute. Readjusting to being around the people that care about me, getting that love that I shut out for a long time. Like I shut out love. I didn't want love and affection. I wanted to be in this lonely place as long as I could and kind of capture the essence of what Eric, you know, Stevens was, what Killmonger was. So when we wrapped the film,
Crazy.
you know, I'm like in my mind, it's like, okay, cool, go back to, you know, get back to LA, be cool. But it was a little tough for me at first to kind of like
It
accept
was hard
that
just to
love.
lay him down and be done with it.
Yeah.
How did it take you a while?
It took me, you know, I mean, I don't really know exactly when I came out of it, but, you know, I went to therapy, you know what I'm saying? I started talking to people, started unpacking a little bit. And you know, like,
I find that so interesting. I find that so interesting because I think the body doesn't know the difference. I remember having this
Wow.
conversation with a famous
This is really insightful. This is really insightful stuff.
actor once about Anthony Hopkins. I would say, Anthony Hopkins, I feel for you because, you know, all the stuff you're taking.
Damson Idris described a similar process where he claims
Crazy.
to allow something dark to take over him to better his performances.
I remember sometime we do 10 episodes for my show, and this last season, I was hitting a block. Like I was like, oh, I'm not doing it right. So I went in the corner, and then I was looking at the wall, and I was like, come on, devil, right? Come to me, because I had to do something like crazy, right? Had nightmares for a month.
That's crazy. Did he actually say this? This is crazy. What? That sounds so wild. Damn.
So it does
Up
come
to it, or-
after, like nightmares every day. I just felt that energy, you know, and I had to pray and do all this stuff to like get rid of it. And you call your mom up, and you're like, you're back to life, and that stuff is real. That stuff.
Some people online believe this practice might be what's causing all of this. They think that these actors are allowing these so-called spirits to take control, and by the end, they end up affecting them like this. What's interesting is that
Wow.
Taraji P. Henson warned about this acting technique in some of her interviews. She specifically mentioned avoiding
Who would have thought? Who would have thought, man? This stuff it's so interesting, the behind the scenes. Oh, wow.
certain roles because she was afraid to open herself up to the wrong energy.
These characters, because it's very spiritual what we do as actors. You're on the set, you have your chakras all open, you're allowing this character to use your body as a vessel. And so you have to learn how to flip the switch on and flip it off. Otherwise, it drive you mad. Because it's
Wow.
spiritual what we do. You understand?
Yeah.
We allow these characters and these stories to use our bodies as a vessel. That is a real, like if you think about it, that's you allowing this other energy.
Project. I let the character speak to it. What we do as actors is very spiritual. You're on set, and that's why I don't pick a lot of roles because it's spiritual and I'm all alive and I'm open and my chakras are open. I'm letting this character use my body as a vessel to tell its truth. And so when I'm open like that, a lot of energies can't be around me. I'm sorry. Because energy is strong and you gotta be particular about who you keep around you. Seriously, if they down and cloudy and they downtrodden.
Yeah, I said I'm not very spiritual. I don't know if it's the same. Would you consider it the same thing? Being spiritual along with energy? I do understand energy though, because you could definitely feel somebody's energy. You could feel their mood. You could feel intentions. You could feel all of that stuff. So is that stuff spiritual? Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I have been a spiritual person this whole time. You know what I mean? Because I definitely feel those things. I definitely can feel the vibe of the room, those type of things. So I do think there is a lot of truth to what Taraji is touching on right now. And I just never made that connection with acting, you know, for some type of reason. But now that I'm hearing it, it's very creepy. Like, you know, it is a risk these people are taking when they open themselves up like that. And this stuff is true and an actual thing.
They got a cloud around you, hanging around, you think you're gonna get wet? Very careful. So I'm very particular about the projects that I take on because that's spirit.
She claimed that when
Yeah, that's important too. So with all that being said and having all that in mind, you do have to kind of filter what projects you do take on, knowing that you're going to have to make yourself this vulnerable, you know?
you allow the wrong spirit into you, things could end terribly. Now, I wonder if this is what's happening with these stars. Think about it. A lot of them are embodying dark characters, and after their performances, they seem affected by it entirely.
Wow.
Could this be what happened to them? Is this the result of allowing the wrong energy to use their body? What do you guys think? Do you think this could explain why so many of these celebrities end up like this? Are they victims of what Taraji was explaining? To me, all of this is insanely strange.
Wow,
It's
yeah.
hard for me to believe that all these celebrities are just on the same weight loss medication that makes them look identical.
But my thing is like, why? Because a lot of these celebrities started out thin already. You know what I mean? Do they really have to become this frail to fit in and catch roles? No, because they've gotten roles before and they've gotten to a certain level of stardom with their look before as well. So I don't think this is a sign of the times. Something definitely is happening that we're not being told about, you know?
After hearing so many of these big actors claim acting is so spiritual,
And even compare them to how Taraji looks. You know what I mean? Like she still has the fullness in her. She still has that spring in her step. You know what I mean? And when you see her, that life to her, when you see her, that glow, I guess we could call it. So there is a difference. And she's somebody who filters what project she's on and what energy she lets, I guess, flow through her.
true. And seeing how they look after their roles, it makes me feel that this could be what's
Wow.
happening. They could be going through something spiritually. Who knows? Ariana Grande was literally starring in a movie named Wicked. After being in that movie, she has never been the same again. Could it be because she was utilizing the same method Taraji was talking about? Ariana's transformation could also be seen in her recent music video.
Crazy.
She appeared in a Twisted music video where she is depicted covered in red paint after she loses it on some executives trying to control her. The imagery in the music video was so deep. So if you want to know what Ariana was trying to say with this,
Oh, this is cool. I guess, yeah, you guys could go check this out. This video is cool, man. The truth is, you know what it is. So I guess we're going to stop everything there. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think it's true? Do you think it's nothing to worry about? Do you think it's like another Ozempic type of fad for some fat loss thing? You know what I mean? That they all have in common. I think there is some validity to this. There could be some validity to this. So keep your eyes peeled. Definitely what we could take from this is kind of be aware of what type of energies you let around you. You know, we're not in the acting industry, but we do come across people every day with different types of energies, and people, I think that stuff can rub off on you. So if you feel something that you don't necessarily agree with, you don't have to be rude about it, but you could distance yourself just so it doesn't affect you as much. You know, you are your curation is what I'd like to say. You curate all things around you, what you come in contact with. So if you don't like something, take it out the picture. You know what I mean? Get away from it. You curate your circle, you curate what you eat, you curate what you see, all that stuff. You know what I mean? So definitely be aware of that. Anyways, before my time runs out, I'm your boy, Omar D, aka The Omar Show. This has been another episode of ODTV. Have a great day, guys. Peace.